The 1 to 400 scale model airplane market has seen incredible numbers of brands over the years. If you're in the United States and or collect United States aircraft, there's been a plethora of choices for just about any airline or aircraft. Today, we're highlighting 4 diecast manufacturers that have quietly become go-to sources for top-tier 1 to 400 scale US aircraft since early 2022. Whether you're into wide bodies, narrow bodies, special liveries, or vintage classics, Phoenix Models, Aviation400, JC Wings, and Panda Models are bringing variety and quality that deserves a closer look. Let's break down what each brand has been up to and why you should consider adding these US releases to your collection. First, let's start with Phoenix Models, now known for delivering solid, reliable representations of US flag carrier mainline jets. Phoenix has historically never represented the United States well. They started in the early 2000s with various doubles DC-9s and Boeing 747s, quietly producing some hit retro models, but throughout the 2010s, Phoenix occasionally released a US aircraft, but most of the time it was a freighter or later on some Boeing house livery aircraft. Not bad by any means, but there are definitely more than just cargo jets and Boeing prototypes around here. It all began to change in 2022 with an American Airlines Boeing 777-300ER. I'm certainly really glad this aircraft got released, and it definitely began the foundation for Phoenix Models getting into some newer releases here for the United States. So this led to slowly but surely Phoenix releasing more US aircraft and surprising many collectors. Key releases since 2023 include the United Airlines Boeing 747-200, which is 161 Uniform Alpha, and Boeing 747-400 registered 187 Uniform Alpha, capturing the essence of the classic battleship gray liveries. These became instant staples for collectors who loved United's golden era. Another prime example is the JetBlue Airways Airbus A320. They made a pair of appearances, one in the new livery and one in the Peacock Special livery. This shows that Phoenix is willing to release US planes that the likes of Gemini jets and NG models may or may not do, but it's still really cool to see them beat them to the punch. Especially the Peacock livery, for example, we've only seen a few other versions, so certainly essential to get this release here from Phoenix. Another great example that I recently got is the United Airlines Boeing 787-8 Evo Blue livery, coming in with 45905 for the registration. Released in late 2024, this aircraft stood out to be the first to release in 1 to 400 scale, beating the likes of Gemini jets and NG models. This is an elevation with the modern United widebody offerings, and other such aircraft like the United Boeing 777 were also done that year. Another highlight example includes the Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 8. This was a huge win for all collectors, but certainly Southwest Airlines fans. This release nails their vibrant colors, winglets, and solid proportions, yet another really good example of domestic aircraft. It is worth knowing that it wasn't the greatest mold of all time, but it's still really cool to see Phoenix releasing aircraft that collectors want to buy, and that's certainly important. The next examples that are really cool includes Delta's 100 years of Delta special liveries. Phoenix bid both the Airbus A321neo and Airbus A350. It's really cool to see Phoenix paying attention to their heritage schemes with the bold tail art and sharp tempo printing. They've provided yet another solid offering to the market when all the other brands were releasing it simultaneously. Very impressive to see Phoenix get in here on the trend, and it's going to be interesting to see how much more of this we'll see from manufacturers as we move forward. It will not be the last example that you hear the Delta 100 years here in this video though. Lastly, another very cool release that is really important to mention include the American Airlines Chrome Boeing 767-300s. This was certainly a highlight for all retro collectors and modern classic collectors as well. Filling out classic, domestic, and international route coverage was solid quality for this particular aircraft. There are also so many other cool examples that Phoenix has released with their Boeing 747s, including the likes of Delta's widgets, the aforementioned United Battleship Grays, and Northwest Airlines. The Boeing 747 mold isn't the greatest out there, of course, but having the option to buy these releases when older versions are so difficult to find is what some collectors prefer. Phoenix might not have the flashiest details nor the greatest molds overall, but their models are dependable, decently priced, and perfect for any collector focusing on the United States widebody and narrowbody fleets. So it's certainly exciting to see the progression here from Phoenix Models. Let's take a look at our next brand, everybody. Aviation400. This became the gold standard for high detail modern widebodies in the US market. Details such as the crisp antennas, the beautiful 3D beacons, and the detachable landing gear are huge highlights for collectors. Before 2022, Aviation400 seldom releases any aircraft really from the United States. They did make some unique gems like Boeing 707s and 727s previously, but that was before they vanished from the US market after 2010. But in the 2020s, they've came back with a vengeance, releasing incredible high-quality wide-body US aircraft for the United States market. Here are a couple examples. The first of which, the Boeing 787-9 Dream Takes Flight, has some colorful Boeing elements to it. Aviation400 captured this aircraft beautifully with all the little details and colors, making it an unusual standout for any collection. But maybe you're gonna ask, that's not a popular legacy carrier, right? You're correct. So let's talk about some examples of the legacy carriers. The United Airlines Boeing 787-10 coming in with 17015 is a must-have for any collector of United Airlines, with the accurate wingtips, balanced proportions, and the really cool old livery on it. So it's certainly very impressive to see them coming in with such a nice aircraft. Another great example, the Delta Airlines Airbus A330neo 406 Delta X-Ray, capturing perfectly with the newer generation of the realistic wing flex, clean printing, and precise engine molding. And guess what? The Delta 100 years Airbus A350-900 is back. Yet again, a very pristine offering, and the Airbus A350 from Aviation400 is arguably one of the best molds out there. So why would you not want this version if you are a Delta collector? Aviation400 are limited edition and sell out quickly. That said, they also offer museum quality finishes and detail that rival or exceed many other brands, especially with what you maybe wouldn't expect, like the molded light beacons and immense printing details. They might not make US planes often, but when they do, they rank at the tops in terms of quality. They also have an American Boeing 777-300 coming out soon, and other examples that you're definitely going to want to keep your eyes on. Aviation400, thank you very much. Let's turn it over to JC Wings, a company that's been around for a very long time, filling some gaps with a diverse portfolio of modern and vintage US aircraft. JC Wings typically release aircraft that Gemini jets wouldn't make, but there are some occasions in which they cross over. As for releases made by JC but not by Gemini jets, here's a couple of unique examples. The Northern Pacific, or better known as New Pacific, Boeing 757-200, a unique aircraft that would fit any collection, one of which I even bought while they were flying commercial flights in the United States. Another highlight example, the JetBlue Airways Airbus A320 Mario and Friends livery 561 Juliet Bravo. This is a very cool livery with a bunch of color on it, and I'm certainly really glad to see JC Wings knocking out a very unique part of the JetBlue fleet. And if you're a retro collector, how about the Pan Am Boeing 747-100 Clipper Champion of the Seas 734 Papa Alpha? This is a very nice aircraft, and considering that the Boeing 747-100s are pretty tough to come by when the 400, this is definitely a highlight for any collector of the vintage age. Yet another one that people really liked, the TWA McDonnell Douglas MD-80 Wings of Pride Special Livery provides a nice tribute to the legendary airline. It's also worth noting that JC Wings has made some really cool examples that frankly you wouldn't see from some of the other manufacturers, including the Southwest Shamu Boeing 737-500 and perhaps the United Boeing 737-900s they made. So it's been really fun to see what JC Wings has been up to. They excel in balancing modern jets with vintage classics with the crisp tambo solid molds in a variety that US collectors can appreciate. Similar to Phoenix, they may not have the best molds, but what they release certainly makes up for it. So JC Wings, thank you as well. Finally, Panda Models is a brand that releases fewer US aircraft, but it packs a punch when it does in terms of quality and the subject choices. Here are some really popular releases that they have made that has certainly been super important for the US collectors. A pair of very sought after McDonnell Douglas MD-11s from 2024 include the Delta Airlines widget livery and American Airlines clone livery, filled with particular details of critical gaps in the collector's retro fleets. With previous releases having been long sold out for dozens of years, Panda swooped in with their high-quality MD-11s and added details like antennas and rolling landing gears that were previously not seen. Very important for the retro collectors. The Allegiant Air Airbus A319 Las Vegas Raiders special livery provides a unique touch to the existing 1-400 Allegiant fleet. Considering that there's not really any other special liveries for Allegiant in the scale, this was certainly a vital release. And Panda's also had smash hits with the Boeing 767-400, releasing the likes of Delta and United with liveries across the board. Some special ones include the Denver Broncos United special livery that no other manufacturers made. Delta has also seen SkyTeam, BCRF, and several other examples that are sought after by collectors. Another really cool vintage aircraft is the Piedmont Airlines Boeing 737-400 406 Uniform Sierra. This is obviously a long gone aircraft, but the classic colors and great mold accuracy is really cool. And perhaps one of the most special aircraft they've made, the US Airways Airbus A320 Miracle on the Hudson 106 Uniform Sierra from 2023, is a tasteful tribute with a clear tempo and perfect detailing on such a unique aircraft. Panda balances nostalgia, modern heavy jets, and special tributes with consistently strong molds and crisp printing. Their releases may not be on the same frequency as the other manufacturers, but when they do show up, collectors take note. They've found a way to balance the quality by nailing it with a few other models. It's also worth noting that Panda works with some other one-off companies for retailer exclusive aircraft. We saw those previously, like the Southwest 737 Scimitars, the JetBlue A320 and the Spotlight Tail, Spirit A320, among several other examples. And these molds being available for those retailer exclusive releases is truly immaculate. Also want to note the Southwest Chrome livery and the Southwest California 1300, for example, planes that are vital for collectors that they have really enjoyed. So there you have it, 4 brands that have quietly made an impressive list of US aircraft in the 1 to 400 scale. Once again, Phoenix offers classic and modern wide bodies plus vibrant special liveries. Aviation 400s delivers on today's flagships like the Delta A350 and United 787-10. JC Wings covers the entire scope of both retro classics and colorful modern jets, filling the gaps with unique choices. And Panda Models brings that high quality to meaningful subjects, from MD-11s to special tributes. If you're serious about collecting US Airlines 1 to 400, definitely do not let these brands go under your radar. They are really impressive and have certainly made a huge difference in the model aircraft landscape. What's been your favorite releases from these 4 or any other brand? Definitely got your eye on that Aviation 400 Delta A350 or a Panda American MD-11? Let me know in the comments below and share your highlights from your collection. I'm definitely curious and want to interact with you all as much as possible. With that being said, I really hope you all enjoyed the deep dive into these 4 brands. Stay on the lookout as we're going to be doing another video kind of cool and similar to this, talking about popular re-releases and duplicates among several manufacturers in the model aircraft space. And I hope all of you are enjoying these aviation analysis videos for the model aircraft landscape. If you all have any particular suggestions, please let me know in the comments below. Expect subjects like 3D printing, Gemini Jets' rise, the next movement for NG models, and so forth coming in the near future. With that being said, that'll do it for today's video, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do love you do. My name is CM Aviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon as CM Aviation is signing off.